Namaste, everyone. My name is Russ Thompson, Recreation Cultural Specialist for Clark County Parks and Recreation. Thank you so much for taking chair yoga class with me today. A few different things before we get started, some different props that you'll need for today's class. Number one is a strap, a yoga strap. If you don't have a yoga strap at home, feel free to grab a long hand towel, an old belt, or like a heavy-duty resistance band, something that has some good solid tension with it. And also 2 yoga blocks. If you don't have yoga blocks at home, a couple things that could be good substitutes would be books, tissue boxes, or even like Amazon boxes at home. So if you have any boxes, like shipping boxes, like an Amazon box, that could also be used for today's practice to substitute with the blocks. And again, yoga is great for everybody. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are, how old you may be, and it doesn't matter what your height is, anything like that. Yoga means union, coming together. So we all may be from different backgrounds, have different skill levels, been practicing yoga for different lengths of time, but it's great literally for everybody, because everybody is different, and that's what makes the world a special, great, and unique place. And again, this class again will be predominantly taught in a chair. For those of you who would like a little bit more intensity and you are comfortable using a yoga mat, feel free to modify today's postures and poses using a mat. But I will be utilizing a chair today. So again, if you are using a chair, make sure that there's no wheels on it. Make sure that it's nice and sturdy, and then we'll be good to go. So once again, thank you so much for joining me today. And again, before we get started, we'll kind of start with our breath work. So find a comfortable seat wherever you are, whether you're on a mat or a chair. On the side of the breath out, each ah sound. Good. Deep breath inhale for 1, count of 4. To 1, 2, 3, 4. Sigh the breath out, exhale. Good. Deep breath inhale. One more time, just like that, for 1, 2, 3, 4. Sigh it out, exhale. Good. Moving more into our Ujjayi breath, or Darth Vader or fire breathing breath. So we're going to feel the breath to expand across the chest on the inhale, but on the exhale, keep the lips sealed and send your breath straight down towards your pelvis. You're not letting the breath let the breath expand or puff out in the belly. You're just sending it straight down towards your pelvis. So again, going at your own pace. And if you do have a breathing issue or allergies or anything like that, if you can't seal the lips, make a little bit of a peephole through the lips. But even if you can't do that, again, exhale out of the mouth. Again, listen to your body. I'm merely your guide. And safety first with everything today, whether it's your breath, whether it's holding different shapes. Again, please listen to your body. And as we're focusing on our breath here, kind of observe how we're sitting. I mean, if you feel like you're kind of slouching a little bit, again, or maybe you feel off kilt, maybe feel how your sit bones, the sit bones are the bony things in your bottom, feel how they are. Maybe you're rocking one way or another. Try to get as even keeled with your seat as possible. Maybe engaging the core, engaging the core, which is your abdominals and obliques and low back, by drawing your belly button to your low back, and then maybe even lengthening up through the crown of the head so those vertebrae are nice and stacked one on top of the other. It's nice, good posture. And as we're breathing here, again, yoga isn't merely just about holding different shapes. It's also about becoming more humble and learning new experiences, learning new things, and maybe sending some love, light, and energy out to those who are close to us or who may need it. Maybe it's family, friends, neighbors, relatives, first responders. Again, if you'd like to make a dedication, now's the time. And again, if you are able to use that Ujjayi breath or that fire breathing Darth Vader breath, What's good about it is you're able to create more heat in your system, which will allow you to go deeper into some of these poses. And it also helps with your overall heart rate, which will help you stay more calm, cool, and collected. And you can utilize this breath even off the yoga mat or chair, maybe to help you with certain things, and to maybe reduce stress in your life if you do ever come across that. Good. Sigh the breath out, H-shot sound, let it all go. Good. Deep breath, inhale. Exhale, let it out. Good. Blink the eyes open. Okay, so we're just going to do a few just basic stretches here, and then we'll add on as we go. So what we're going to do is just kind of take the right arm across your body, take the left arm underneath. Again, the left arm goes right underneath that right arm, so just gently pressing into the right arm. You should feel a nice stretch going up around the right shoulder. Good. Right arm up and overhead, so the back of the head goes into the forearm. Gently pressing down into that right arm, gently with that left elbow, or excuse me, pressing into the left hand into the right elbow gently. Again, you want to, every time you do this, anything similar to this, you never want to hunch over. You want to press the back of the head into the forearm, and we want to maintain that good posture. And then we'll take that right wrist forward. And when in doubt with any type of form of health or fitness related activity, wrist line or joint lines up with joints. So in this case, elbows line up with, or excuse me, wrist lines up with shoulders, knees over ankles, etc. And we're gonna do the same thing, switch sides. So now this time left arm swings over across, the right arm goes underneath. Good. Left arm up and overhead. Remember, gently press the back of the head into that forearm. Maintain that good posture. Lightly pressing down with the right hand down gently. And take the left wrist out. Good. Take the right leg out. Extend it nice and smooth. And switching sides. Good. Bring the leg in nice and smooth. Let's just all sigh the breath out. H-yaw sound. Let go. Good. Deep breath, inhale. Sigh out, let go. Good. For those of you who were in a comfortable seated position on your mat, please make your way to tabletop position. You'll make your way into cat-cow pose. So again, take your time moving into with cat-cow. Again, feel the way your vertebrae is going, so it doesn't matter how fast or slow you're going with that. Take your time. For those of you who are seated, we're going to take the arms out, make a T shape with the arms. Now on your inhale, you're going to take a little bit of a back bend, but anytime you take a back bend or anything, again, engage that core, so navel to low back. Take a little bit of a back bend, make the shoulder blades, which are those big bony things, your upper back, come together. And then, so inhaling here, exhale, kind of curling through, rounding the spine, and allow the hands to come together. Inhale, invite the back bend, nice and smooth. So this is cow pose here, and then exhale, curl your back, arch your back like a cat, nice and smooth. A couple more rounds just like that on your own. If you want to keep the arms out straight, that's fine. If you want to take them to a V shape or field goal posts, that's fine too. Again, completely just do whatever feels best for you and your body. Good. We're come back to a nice neutral body. So if you're in cat-cow, take a nice flat body, or back I should say, so back to tabletop. And then for those of you who are on your mats, go into downward facing dog. For those of you who are in a chair like I am, let's come up to stand and we'll set ourselves up for downward facing dog. And as I like to suggest when we're doing this, be about a foot distance away from you and your chair. So you're about from the front lip of the chair to where you're at. And what we're going to do from here is just kind of take a nice quick half sun salutation here to find our grip, and then we'll take our down dog. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. If you're already in down dog on your mat, stay there, please. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, one foot goes back, and then the front foot will meet the back foot. Now begin to press into both sides of your chair. Shift the weight back so that your hips should line up over your knees and ankles. And as you're pressing down on the chair, roll your triceps, which is the back part of your arm muscle. So biceps the top, biceps is top, tricep is the back. And you roll those triceps in and shift the weight back. Now, if you have low back issues, tight hamstrings, feel free to take your feet as wide as your hips. Maybe if you're using a mat, maybe take them as wide as your mat. Maybe even lift one heel off the floor at a time. Any time during class, again, safety first. If you feel like you need to get in some water, take a child's pose, have a seat, feel free to do so. And if there's something that may be too intense for you, don't feel like you have to do it. Listen to your body. Remember, safety first. Again, I'm merely your guide. Good. So from here, what we're going to do is this. If you are able to, we're going to shift if you brought your feet mat distance or hip distance apart, let's bring them a little bit closer. And we're going to, again, this is completely optional. You can either remain in down dog, or we're going to move into plank position. So really send the navel to your low back. We're going to energize our legs and hold. And for the inhale and the exhale, we're going to kick back to downward facing dog. And we're going to do that 2 more times. Again, if you need to have a seat in your chair, get some water, go for it. But again, 2 more times. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last one, inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, so if you're on your mat, let's come to hands and knees just for a quick second, just to take a quick break. If you want to stay in down dog, that's completely fine. You can stay there. But for those of you who you're using the chair, take your hands to hips, press up, come up 1 vertebrae at a time. We're going to just do a little bit of modifying with some core work here. So downward, so if you're on the mat, go back to downward facing dog. For those of you who are here, and you're going to listen to my cue here. And then for those of you with the chair, we're going to kind of do some different core work that you could do with down dog, but with the chair, this is a little bit easier. So what's going to happen here is this. If you are on your mat, okay, you're going to take the right leg, kick it back, okay? If you're using the chair, right arm comes up. And then from on your exhale, everybody's exhales, right knee to right tricep elbow area. Okay? Inhale, kicks it back. Exhale, knee to nose, or again, right elbow to right knee again if you're using the chair. Inhale, kick it back. For those of you who are on a mat, right knee to left elbow, or for the chair here, right elbow to right knee. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, lower down. Okay? Same thing, second side. So for those of you who are on your mats, left leg lifts, inhale. And then everybody with the chair, left arm comes up. And then on your exhale, left elbow to left knee. For those of you who are in the chair, we're going to do the same side 3 more times. So inhale, kick it back. For those of you who are on your mats, knee to nose. Otherwise, elbow to knee. Third time here, inhale here. Exhale, left knee to right elbow if you're on your mat. And then if you're on the chair, left elbow, left knee. Inhale up and shake it out. Good. For those of you who are in down dog, when you're ready, take your time. You'll bend your knees. Walk, step, hop to the front of your mat, staying low. And then for those of you who are standing up like I am here, we're just going to take a nice forward fold. And we'll meet those who are on their mat. So inhale here, and then exhale, fold forward. And maybe just grab onto opposite elbows. Maybe rock the arms around the legs. Just kind of get a nice, maybe sway from side to side. Good, and from here we'll take our hands to hips. And we're going to come up 1 vertebrae at a time. And the crown of the head will be the last thing to come up to the ceiling. All right, so from here what we're going to do is just kind of find Tadasana, mountain pose. So anytime I say a term that's not in English, it's called Sanskrit. So Sanskrit is the Indian yoga dialect term that we use in yoga to, again, just to kind of, that we use in the practice. So again, I'll do my best to translate as best I can. But again, as you're in your mountain pose, which is hips over ankles, again, maybe relaxing the shoulders away from the ears, sending energy through the fingers. So that's just a nice little prep work for any warrior poses that we may do. Again, always relax the shoulders, but send energy through the fingertips. Maybe even close the eyes, check in with your breath. Maybe make an intention. If you did make an intention, maybe check in with that. Good. Inhale here. Side out. Exhale. Good. And blink the eyes open. Okay. So we're going to take a few half sun salutations, and then we'll add on from here. So on your next inhale, so again, if you're using the chair, be about a foot distance away from your chair like we were earlier. And here we go. 3 half sun salutations. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, lengthen out and fold forward. If you need to bend the knees, if you have tight hamstrings, feel free to do so. You can even touch the floor if you have open hamstrings. If you're using the chair, that's fine. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulder blades back, neck long. This is called Ardha. Ardha means half from Sanskrit. Fold forward, exhale. We're going to press up into rise, coming all the way up. Hands come to heart center. Good, 2 more times. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold forward. Again, to the chair, not. And when you fold forward, you want to hinge from your hips, not your waist. So not like the belly button area, but from your hip points. Good. Halfway left on your inhale. Fold forward, exhale. You want to rise, pressing all the way up. Hands come to heart center. Good. 1 more time, just like that. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, Ardha, halfway lift. Fold forward, exhale. Press up into rise, coming all the way up. Hands to heart, exhale. All right, so from here, what we're going to do is just going to add a little bit more movement. So inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale and fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And then right foot remains forward, left leg kicks back. We're in a kind of a lunge position. For those of you who need to modify, you can drop the back knee to the floor. You can hang on to your chair. You need to hang on to blocks. That's fine too. But when we're here, though, we're not slamming all our weight down into our arms. We're like we do in many of our standing poses. We want to keep about 3/4 of our weight in the back leg, okay? Now, from here, what's going to happen is this. We're going to kind of move into a little bit of a twisted lunge pose. So listen to your bodies carefully here, okay? If you would like to stay here, that's completely fine. For those of you who would like to go a little bit deeper, I'm just turning my chair so you can see a little bit better. Maybe what you can do is I'm just going to keep this relatively basic with the chair aspect. For those of you who are more intermediate advanced, feel free to go deeper with this pose, with twisted lunge. So maybe let's all take our hands to heart if you're able to. For those of you who are just using a chair, again, twist with the core. Anytime we twist, always don't twist with the shoulders, twist through here, and maybe come up like so. Okay, maybe even take the arms out and open. But again, for those of you who want to go a little bit deeper with the twist, hooking an elbow, that's fine. Good, hold for 3, 2. If you brought your hand, if you did come up for the twist, bring the hands to heart. We're going to place the hands down. Front foot will meet the back foot, and you can do one of 2 options from here. A, just go right to downward facing dog, completely fine. Or B, we're going to take a vinyasa, or chaturanga as I like to call it, they're synonyms, which is taking the body in a plank pose, and then energize that core, and legs, pause, lower and pause the height of the elbows, and on your inhale, to the back toes, shift the chest through for upward facing dog, and then exhale, kick back, downward facing dog. Good. Bend the knees on your inhale. Then exhale, walk, step, hop to the front of your mats or chairs, stay low. Inhale, halfway lift. Fold forward, exhale. We're going to root to rise. We're going to come all the way back up. And hands come to heart center. Good. Same thing, second side. So here we go. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale and fold forward. Inhale, Arda, halfway lift. And this time, left foot remains forward, right leg kicks back. So you're on the ball of that back foot. Okay, and if you have a toe issue where you need to seal the back heel down, that's fine, like a warrior one stance, that's completely fine. Otherwise, just come right up here. And then again, with that lunge, and again, anytime we're in a lunge position, as another tip, just make sure the hips are square. Maybe take your left thumb to your left hip crease and gently pull back. So again, we may be utilizing this more a little bit for today's practice. But from here, we're going to move back into that twist. We're going to come on up, maybe take the hand, maybe if you want to stay in the low lunge position, that's fine. Otherwise, maybe turn, twist from your core, maybe stay up here, maybe take the arms out like so. Okay? And again, if you're more intermediate advanced and know how to do different variations of twisted lunge, go for it. Good. If you did go for the twist, so bring the hands to heart, center ourselves up. Your front foot will eventually meet the back foot. You again go to downward dog or take a vinyasa, your choice. Go ahead, bend the knees, inhale. Exhale, walk, step, hop to the front of your mat, staying low. Inhale, halfway lift. Fold forward, exhale. Root to rise, coming all the way up. And hands come to heart center. All right, so everyone, if you need to get some water here. And after we do take our little mini water break, what we're going to do is if you do have your yoga blocks or those items that I mentioned similar to yoga blocks, please grab them. And again, if you don't have blocks, you can use like shipping boxes, books, tissue boxes, anything like that that has a little bit of substance to it. That'd be great. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to move on. We're going to kind of work a little bit more with, we're going to move into a little bit of strengthening with the legs, but also working with our chair pose technique, or in chair pose, or Sanskrit for chair pose is Utkatasana, chair pose. And so what we're going to do is this, we're going to use the wall. Now, if you do have any severe leg issues, I highly suggest you just use the chair, you just have a seat in the chair, and you can just work with just the arms, the upper body arms, and you get the feel for that. Otherwise, what you're going to do is you're going to take your 2 blocks. You're going to place 1 block in between. We're going to do this 2 times. So this is the first time. You're going to take 1 block, squeeze the block in between your legs, and you're going to take your other block in here, in between your hands. Now, when we get our body actually set up, when we use the blocks, we don't want to squeeze the block like we're the Incredible Hulk. We want to take about 30% of our energy into the block here, okay? But before we get into this, if you have more strength to where you feel like you can do this without sitting in a chair, but you are kind of, building upon strengthening the legs, you're going to do is, and again, when in doubt, knees line up, joint lines up with joint. So knees will line up with hips, knees line up over ankles, but maybe, for some of you, maybe you just want to come to a 45-degree angle. So it's kind of like, you're kind of like coming up like at a 45-degree angle, that's fine. Otherwise, and again, so you can come here, or if you're able to, again, no judgment, safety first, your knees are going to line up with your hips, knees over ankles. And then just try to send the back, the shoulder blades into the wall and gently squeeze the block, okay? We're going to be here for 5 counts. So for 1, for 2, for 3, for 4, 4.5, and 5. Gently press your feet back up and shake it out. All right. So what these blocks are doing here is it's allowing us to really engage our lower half, but to keep the upper half nice and light. So again, like when we're holding like warrior poses and things like that, again, we kind of draw the shoulders down and keep the hands light. So it's kind of sort of along those same lines. We're going to do that now one more time, but the second time with that option though, to take either, if you want to take the arms up, you can take the arms up. So that's the option here. So we're going to do it here. Again, take your time, get yourself set, and begin to drop down. Again, arms can stay here or pop up and hold. Count to 5 for 1. Don't forget to breathe. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Gently press back up. Give yourself a shake. Okay? So all that work, what we're doing here is trying to keep in your mind how the legs were engaging and how the arms were feeling. Okay? Now, if you do have a severe arm issue, again, that's why on the second side, that's why if you didn't want to come take the arms up, you could take them out forward. If you do have a severe shoulder issue with anything, you can always keep your hands to heart, and you can even make field goal posts with the arms as well. But now, what we're going to do is we're actually going to hold, we're going to take what we call Surya Namaskar B, or Sun Salutation B. So we're going to add in chair poses, so one at the beginning and one at the end of the sequence, and as well as warrior ones as well with down dogs. So from here, get yourself set up. Again, if you're using the chair, again, be about a foot distance away. And again, if this is too difficult for you, feel free to sit in the chair and you can do the arm patterns. That's fine. Again, yoga, again, we always build upon our practice. Yes, like blocks. All right, here we go. So on your next inhale, I'm going to just come forward like this so you can kind of see here with how my feet are. If you have a balance issue even, take your feet hip distance apart. If otherwise, your inner ankles are going to touch and inner legs will touch as well. So again, that's just another thing depending on if you're able to. Again, if the inner ankles and legs touch, you'll lift the toes off the floor, bring more of the weight back toward the heels. So here we go. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Don't forget to breathe. Deep breath here. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, Ardha halfway lift. And then exhale, Chaturanga, downward facing dog, your choice. All right, right leg is going to come forward, okay? The left leg will kick back. And again, we're going to come up to Virabhadrasana 1 or Warrior 1. Now, anytime you're in a standing pose like this, like a similar to Warrior 1, you want to make sure that your front heel lines up with either your back heel or back inner arch, okay? And then you kind of want to do your best to make sure that your wrists are over your ankles, okay? So this is why we know how wide our stride should truly be. And then you're going to turn again, so that back foot comes out to point towards this part of your chair, or if you're on a mat, the top left corner of your chair, okay? And then turn that back quadricep bend, front knee bends, and pop up. Again, they call this Virabhadrasana 1 or Warrior 1 because we look like a 1. We're holding a number 1 shape here. Good. Hold for 3, 2, and 1. Hands come to the side of the chair or the mat. Your choice. Go to down dog or take a flow, a vinyasa flow, as this is also called besides chaturanga. Left leg comes through, right leg kicks back. Again, check your alignment here. Take your time. If you're a step or two behind me, don't worry about it. Come, take the arms up nice and tall, Warrior 1. Again, fine. Make sure your stance, everything's nice and smooth. Good. Inhale here. Exhale, hands down. Chaturanga, downward facing dog, your choice. Don't forget your Ujjayi breath. Bend the knees, inhale. Exhale, walk, step hop to the front of your chair or mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Fold forward, exhale. To wrap up Surya Namaskar B, one more chair pose, one more time. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Good, hold for 3, hold for 2, and gently press up, hands come to heart center. All right, give yourself a shake. If you need some water, go grab it. Okay. So today we're going to do is we're going to, our balance pose at the table, we're going to focus on tree pose or Vrikshasana. So if you need a wall for balance, that's fine. If you want to use your chair for balance too, that's great. If you know you don't need a chair, that's wonderful too. So again, any variation of whether you need balance or not, or need something to hold you, that's cool. So what's going to happen here is if you are using a chair for balance, you're going to come on the right side of your chair as the right knee is going to kick out. So again, when you're doing this, And again, with tree poses, I always like to offer as a suggestion, and you can have a seat for me if you like. It's kind of like a water, you're like a water bottle almost. So trees need water to get into their root system for them to grow, right? So we imagine this water bottle here, okay? The water is down the bottom. So the bottom part of this bottle here is the tree's root system, or your feet. And where I'm squeezing, okay, when I squeeze the middle part of the bottle, the water roots up, it lengthens up. So this squeezing action that I'm doing here is where the leg and foot action come into place. Because what happens is that the foot can either stay on the bottom, so you're on the ball of the back of the foot, below the knee, or above the knee. So I don't care where the foot goes, as long as it's not square on the side of the kneecap. If your toes are touching the knee, that's fine. Okay, but we're here engaging that core and squeezing, besides engaging the core, you're squeezing the lifted foot into the standing leg together like that bottle, and by pressing down into the floor, that water pops up into the bottle, just like our spine does, and maybe even one or perhaps both branches. Okay, if you need to hang on to the chair, it's fine. Good, hold for 3, 2, 1. You'll take your hands to hips. The right knee is going to come forward. Now pause here. If you want to hang here, that's fine. If you need to set the right foot down too, that's cool. We're going to hang in baseball pitcher pose for a few moments. Maybe even take that right leg out. Maybe one or both arms come up. And maybe even flex the foot if you would like for 3, 2, and lower down. All right. Now, anytime a leg is lifted, like we just did, if you did go that route, again, completely optional, whether you did or do or don't do some of these things, or any of these things. When it comes to the lifting the height of the leg, I worry more about the integrity of your low back as opposed to how high the leg lifts. So the back comes first, the hamstrings come second, okay? So just safety first. Switching sides, so really rooting down that right leg. The left leg is going to come out. Again, maybe you stay here in baby Groot's pose, a little Avengers humor here, or Guardians of the Galaxy humor. Maybe the foot goes below the knee, above the knee, okay? Really root down hard through that right leg, engage the core. Maybe that left arm pops up. Maybe they say the hands stay to heart. Maybe both arms go up. Your choice. Hold for 3, 2, take your hands to hips or the chair. Left knee comes up, hold baseball pitcher pose. Again, if you need to lower the leg down, that's fine. Maybe that left leg extends, maybe the arms come up. If the left leg is indeed extending, maybe flex the foot for 3, 2, and lower the leg down. All right, we're gonna shake it out. And from here, if you're on your mat, you're going to come to the top of your mat in Tadasana, okay? For those of you who are indeed using your chair, you're going to sit up like we have been, foot away from the chair. And again, if you need some water, go grab it. Okay, so from here, we're going to take a half sun and then we'll go right to down dog and move on. So inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, lengthen out and fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, down dog, or go straight to downward, or take a vinyasa, or again, vinyasa, down dog, either way is fine. Right leg is in a lift and come through. And we're all going to find Warrior One. So Warrior One, we did that earlier with our Surya Namaskar B sequence. So come up and find Warrior One. Good. On your next inhale, we're going to bring the front leg to a micro bend. So micro bending means we're not locking that joint where we feel like bone is on top of bone. You want to kind of bend that joint maybe like a centimeter. So it looks like it's straight, but it's not. It's like at 99% straight, okay? And still keeping the weight back, we're going to move into pyramid pose. So I'm going to give two options, or a couple of options, I should say, yeah. Option one is, well, before I get into the options, let's take our right thumb to right hip crease and gently draw that hip back so we know our hips are square. Now the options are this. Regardless of what option you take, you're going to engage the core and find a back bend here. But either A, you're going to take the hands to the chair and melt the chest forward. B, take your hands to blocks or the floor. Again, weight back, right hip back, melt the chest to the floor. Or for those of you who are comfortable in doing this and know how to do it correctly, if you want to do some shoulder openers, again, with the front leg will still be at a micro bend. You can take the hands in like a fist bump position or reverse prayer hands, like so. And this will, by doing this, again, only go to your range of motion, okay? So safety first. By doing this, you're getting a little bit more of a heart opener, okay? And again, if you can't do palms, if you want to do fist bumps, that's fine. If this is too much for you with the shoulders, just take the original variation, hands to chair, blocks, or floor. We're going to be here for about another 3 breaths. Okay, we're all going to come about halfway. You're going to bend that right knee a little bit, and then you're going to come on the ball of the back foot. Find your way into downward facing dog. So the front foot meets the back foot. Find down dog, or take a vinyasa flow, your choice. Inhale, upward dog. If you did go that way, exhale, downward facing dog. And the left leg's going to come up and through. Right leg kicks back. Find warrior one. Again, if you're a step or two behind me, please don't worry. Take your time. All right, inhale, bring the front leg to a micro bend. Left thumb to left hip crease, gently draw back. We're going to move back into pyramid pose. So again, whether you want to do the hand position to open up the shoulders or not, your choice. But regardless of what you do decide to take, again, engage the core. Okay, inhale, take a little bit of a back bend. Exhale, lengthen out and fold forward. Good. From here, you're gonna press back nice and smooth. You'll come onto the ball of the back foot, and then front knee will bend a little bit. Make your way to down dog or optional vinyasa, your choice. Okay, listen carefully. For those of you who are on your mats, we're gonna make our way into pigeon series. So the right leg will lift, inhale, and then bring the right leg through to half pigeon. If you can eat, and I like to call this pigeon buffet. So if you want to either take thread the needle, which is pigeon on your back. If you want to remain in half pigeon with or without blocks underneath, single pigeon or double pigeon, that's fine. We're going to be here for several breaths, so take your time getting into it. For those of you who are using the chair, you're going to have a seat on the chair, nice and smooth. And then from here, what you're going to do is the right knee is going to go over the right ankle in your seat. Make sure you're maybe a little bit towards the lip of the chair comfortably. And the left leg's going to come up, okay? And the toes are going to flex towards the top toes are going to flex towards that left kneecap because it protects the knee and also opens up the hamstrings more. Now, for those of you who are seated, if your leg's at a diagonal position or you have some sort of other hip issue going on, maybe you had surgery recently or whatever the case may be, feel free to modify by extending the legs out, okay, and lengthening. And I'm sorry, I said left leg. We should be doing the right leg first. So again, yoga practice, not a yoga perfect. So again, everyone on their mats is doing the right side, so we're going to join them with them. So the right leg will come up. Again, right side, again, right side. The knee will line up, again, here or here. All right, and then lengthen out and fold when you're ready. And again, one hip may be more tighter than the other. Again, 90% of the human population has one hip that's more tighter than the other. So unless you have amazing genetics or you're a Cirque du Soleil performer, you know, chances are you're gonna feel a little more tightness on one side. Don't forget to breathe. Use that Ujjayi breath. Smile. Only holding shapes. Okay, so if you are on your mats, you can gently come up from whatever position you are at, and then if you would like to go to downward facing dog, depending on the variation you are in, feel free to do so and go to the second side. Otherwise, you want to stay where you are and just swing on over. Again, depending on if you're taking double pigeon or thread the needle, you want to just sit and just switch. Otherwise, left side here whenever you're ready. So again, modification for those of you sitting in the chair. Left leg on top of right. Flex the toes towards the knee. Or left knee or right knee over right ankle. Toes are flexed to the kneecap. Sitting up nice and tall. Okay? And on an inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, out and fold. Good. Slowly begin to come up. For those of you who were on your mats, take one last, when you're ready, take your time, come up, take one last downward facing dog of the day. And for those of you who are on your mats, again, taking that down dog, once you're hold there for a breath or two, make your way onto your backs and grab your strap. For those of you who are seated in the chair like I am, grab onto your strap, please. So, for those of you who, and again, if you're a step or two behind me, take your time. We'll be here for quite a few moments. But if you're on your back, you want to make sure you're going to we're going to take the strap to the sole of the right foot. And you want to make sure that the left leg is lined up with the left hip, okay? For those of you who are seated in a chair, left knee over left ankle. And we're going to start with whether you're on your back or not. Grab onto both ends of your strap. Gently pull the strap in to where the right leg is moving in towards the right hip socket. And then you're going to flex the toes towards your kneecap again. Open up the hamstrings and protect the kneecap more. But kick out through the heel. Okay? And now if you're able to walk the hands up a little bit closer to the foot, that's fine. Maybe lengthen up the crown of the head more if you're sitting up for that good posture. To breathe. Good, and from here, you're going to take both ends of the strap no matter where you're at, and then you're going to take the left hand to the left hip for stability if you're sitting on your chair. For those of you who are on your mats, take the left hand to the left thigh or the left side of your mat for better stability. Now, when you take the leg out to the right, if you're on your mat, if you feel your left sit bone coming off the mat, you've gone too far, adjust back a little bit more to the neutral spot. Okay, otherwise, keep going out, keep lengthening that right heel out, toes flexed, sit up tall if you're able to. Good, on your next inhale, bring the leg back to neutral and lower that leg down. And do the same thing switching sides. So this time if you're on your mat, make sure the right ankle lines with the right leg and hip, okay? And again, sole of the foot up. So again, if you're on your back, the sole of the foot's gonna be going up to the ceiling, obviously. And if you're in the chair, you're sitting it nice and tall. And again, both ends of the strap first, gently, repeat, gently, pull hard in that leg, gently I should say, gently into the leg, flex the toes, reach the heel, lengthen up. Again, listen to your body. You should never feel any pain when it comes to yoga. You should feel a sense of openness, but again, if you feel pain, please back off. And then, we're gonna hold here for 3, 2, 1. Maybe if you're able to, grab both ends of the strap into the left hand. Again, if you're sitting up, right hand to right hip. If you're on your backs, right hand to right thigh or on the side. And then lengthen up nice and tall and tick-tock out. Good, inhale, bring the leg to neutral, and exhale, release the bind. Okay, for those of you who are on your backs, if you want to take a supine twist on your back, or maybe even take a happy baby over this next minute or two, you can before we move into our final rest. For those of you who, if you are on your mat and want to join me here, or if you're on your chair, we're just going to kind of work out the neck a little bit, ankles and wrists, before we move into our final rest. So kind of drop the chin down to chest, and then kind of roll one ear or one shoulder at a time. Again, kind of like imagine like your windshield wipers blades, kind of just slowly going from one side to the next. Good, bring the chin back to neutral. If you did join me here, come up nice and smooth. And we're gonna just interlace the hands, kind of roll the wrists. Kind of go one way, then the other. And then we're gonna do the same thing with the legs, so kind of ankle roll. So right leg maybe go clockwise. Counterclockwise. And switch legs. Yeah, maybe go clockwise. And counterclockwise. And lower the leg down. Okay, so if you are sitting in a chair for your final rest, or corpse pose, shavasana, however you like to call it, you can sit up in a chair like here. This is kind of a nice, comfortable state. You can also, if you have an extra chair at home and would like to use it as like a little bit of a kickstand for your legs, feel free to do that as well. For those of you who are on your mats, you can either sit up nice and tall in a nice meditative state if you like. If you want to take Viparita Karani, which is legs up the wall, you can do that. Or just take traditional shavasana. So I'll let us wait a few moments, let you all get settled in. Good, and from here we'll just sigh the breath out, H-ah sound. Good, deep breath, inhale. Sigh it out, let it out. just relax the face, the jaw, fingers, toes, and just move into your Shavasana. Begin to increase the breath. Begin to make subtle movements, take thumb across fingertips, wiggle the toes. If you're able to keep the eyes closed during these last few moments, that's fine. If it's great. If you're unable to, if it feels weird, awkward, you can keep them open. And for those of you who are on your backs, you'll eventually take the arms up and overhead, hug knees, chest, and make your way up to sit. Find Sukhasana, easy seated pose. Or for those of you who are in your chair, again, just slowly come out. Again, if you would rather stay in Shavasana for a longer period of time, that's completely fine. It's your practice. If you need the extra time, you can go back and rest. If you are ready to end class with me, we'll take our hands to heart and bow our heads down for gratitude. Thank you all very much for letting me facilitate your practice today. And again, always remember that yoga isn't just about holding shapes, it's about learning, trying new things, going on a new adventure, learning new, and just being the best person that you can be. And you can become more humble, more spiritual, and just knowing that doing the right thing is better than doing the cool thing in life. Again, doing the right, just thing, being a good person, being a good neighbor, friend, family member. Again, maybe putting other people's feelings first before your own. Okay, yoga means union, a community of people coming together. And it doesn't matter who you are or what you are, we're all in this together, trying to help better our minds, bodies, and spirits, so that this way, when we step off the mat or off the chair into the real world, we can share these traits, gifts, and ideas with those others, so that our world can be a much better place to live in. May all beings everywhere know love and peace. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste.